You should be thinking.
Our investigation into extraterrestrial life has led Buddy, Mac, and Scott just about everywhere. But before they can reach their conclusions, they're now speaking to a man who spent much of his life in the one place we couldn't go.
You mentioned having been in space 6 times. Are the experiences different each time?
Yeah, they're richer because you know what to look for.
So when you were out there, did you see any other beings out there?
Nope. I wanted to.
You wanted to?
I wish, oh yeah.
But you think there's other life out there, but you just don't have evidence of them visiting our planet yet.
Every time you take a timed exposure with a Hubble, it's 2,000 galaxies times 100 billion stars. That is 2,000 times 100 billion. So within one picture, it's 200 trillion stars you're looking at with one picture of Hubble. And every time you aim it, you have another 100 trillion stars.
So you're just saying the probability is?
Massive. It's a certainty.
A trillion is a million millions. So even if the chances of life existing near a star are only 1 in a trillion, for every picture the Hubble takes, there would still be 200 planets with life on them. So, I mean, what's so interesting about Earth is the atmospheric pressure, the amount of water, how close it is to the sun. I mean, all the dials are set perfectly for life. You believe that those dials are set perfectly somewhere else within?
That's a nice way to put it. Yes, but when you have in one Hubble picture 100 trillion stars, not many dials have to be correct, and you still have a trillion planets with life on them. But that stuff out there it's massively advanced in the evolutionary string. The stuff because
the other life?
Yeah, the life out there. But it also has had a chance to do 1 billion years of technology.
Really?
They've been around for 12 billion years. The Hubble constant pretty much defined the age.
Mm-hmm. You think there's something beyond just, you know, a certain bacteria and a certain volcanic ash?
They're doing interstellar travel.
You think so?
Of course. If you have an advanced evolutionary string, which has been developing technology for 1 billion years, star travel is happening.
So if you think in 200 years we got from maybe a drill press operated by an ox
to here,
to
the spacecraft,
to iPhone, yeah.
Or me, born and raised, when I was a kid, diesel locomotive not here. I was steam locomotive.
Steam locomotive to being an astronaut. You're
steam
thinking,
locomotive to space.
What could another strain of life have done with 1 billion years?
With 1 billion years.
Today, there's more computing power in a cell phone than there was in Apollo 11, and that brought man to the moon and back. And these are advancements in technology that every baby boomer can vividly remember changing in their lifetime. So imagine what we'll be able to do in another 10, 100, or 1,000 years. But that's not what the astronaut is talking about. He's talking about 1 billion years from now, when our descendants look back at us and our technology the way we look back at cavemen.
Story, if you're 100% certain that there's been other life around for 1 billion years and they are traveling from star to star, why haven't they visited here?
First of all, you have to look at the statistics of, yes, there's star travel going on, but there's a heck of a lot of places to go to. Even though star travel is going on, things are far away.
But how sure are you?
I'm as sure as I can be, but I don't have the evidence. It's statistical. It's the power of life. So we have 4 million species here.
Right.
So life did not just create a handful of species. Life has got the muscle and the survivability to survive under a huge number, the dials, and you have massive time. Put those 3 together, it's everywhere.
It's somewhere else besides
yeah, it is.
here.
Yeah.
Buddy, Mac, and Scott have dug deeply into all the best-known alien encounters and found some little-known information. They've talked to credible sources who've told them truly incredible stories.
Here's what I know from what we found. I believe that the FAA, CIA, Air Force is not allowing an open, transparent scientific investigation. I mean, there is no doubt in my mind that they're trying to control information.
No.
Now, whether they're covering up, proof of alien life, I don't think they have it yet. I don't think they have the knowledge to cover up. I think they're scrambling to figure out what's going on before anybody else, and I think they are scrambling.
See, I agree with that to a certain extent, but I think that there has been ample evidence that it is alien life that the government's covering up. I mean, well, first of all, we have a very credible sighting of what can only be described as a spacecraft by a pilot for a Japanese airline. I mean, this guy has nothing to gain and everything to lose by having this sighting. We have credible military sources that tell us that they were told that a flying saucer had crashed in Roswell, and then they were told to change the story. I mean, if they're trying to keep military secrets from us to keep us safe, that's a good thing. But there does seem to me to be credible evidence out there that we found in this investigation.
Do I think the government is covering up the existence of alien life? I don't think they are. I think they're covering up the existence of UFOs because UFOs means objects that we don't yet know how to explain. The thing at Roswell, I completely am willing to admit that something landed at Roswell and the government hurried to change the story.
One of the things that really started me heading down in this direction for this conclusion was talking to Richard Mingus. He was a guy who was a security guard at Area 51. He had access to every single place on that base you could go except one place, one hangar he was not allowed to go. He finally took a look in there and he saw something that to this day he cannot talk about.
I do believe that some other kind of life exists beyond just the life on our planet. We can't even imagine how large the universe is. And so somewhere the dials are just right for some kind of life to exist.
I completely agree with you guys that alien life has to exist. Now, I will say this. I think lots of the things we've heard are pipe dreams that people are having, and they're people's imaginations, and they're people that are a little cuckoo. But there's just been too much evidence that I've learned about during this investigation to make me think that it hasn't been here at some point.
That brings me back to our conversation with Story Musgrave. We looked at him point blank and said, did you see anything? And he paused and he said, no, but I wanted to.
Right.
Well, then let me just ask you point blank. Do you think alien life exists at all, anywhere in the universe?
I have seen a UFO.
You're
Kidding, right?
You don't tell everyone that you've seen a UFO for a lot of different reasons.
Makes you sound like a wingnut.
Right. I was a young boy, 8 years old, traveling with my family, and my father looked up in the sky from the car, pulled the car over immediately. There was a giant glowing, like, oval-shaped orb in the sky. It was illuminated from within. It looked like it had fire around the edges, and we pulled over, numerous cars pulled over, and everyone stopped and got out and pointed to this thing, and no one knew what the hell it was.
I gotta be honest, buddy, if you had told me that story before we started this investigation, I would have thought maybe you were a little crazy. But after everything we've learned and everything we've seen and everything people have told us, that's incredible.
It was one of the most incredible images that I have from my childhood. I mean, I don't have nightmares about it or anything. I have wonder about it. Was it of another world?
Right.
I don't know.
The majority of stars in our universe are more than 1,000 light years away. So that means it would take an alien 1,000 years just to get here. They can't get here faster because physicists believe that the speed of light is the speed limit of the universe, and that it's impossible for anything to move faster. But physicists also believe it was impossible to travel faster than the speed of sound, until Chuck Yeager proved them wrong in 1947 when he broke the sound barrier. People thought it physically impossible for a human being to run a mile in under 4 minutes, until Roger Bannister did it in 1954. Remember, just because something hasn't happened yet never means it's impossible. I want to believe that we're not the only life out there. Ronald Reagan says he saw a UFO with his own eyes. So did Jimmy Carter. And Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest thinkers of our time, thinks it's a mathematical impossibility to say there is no other life. But listen to what Hawking says, because he also gives us a warning. He said, we only have to look at ourselves to see how intelligent life might develop into something we wouldn't want to meet. He goes on, if aliens ever visit us, I think the outcome will be much as when Christopher Columbus first landed in America, which didn't turn out very well for the Native Americans. So, for as much as I want to believe, we need to always be very careful what we wish for.